My name is Hilal al mezeini. I am working at Bluwater company as a fish farm manager since 2020. I started working in aquaculture industry in 2019, and until now, I'm working with the Bluwater as a farm manager. So today I'm here to talk about offshore cage farming in Oman. And so let's go first to introduce about the Bluwaters, or what is the Bluwater purpose. So Bluwater is full-owned subsidiary for Fishery Development Oman, which is running by Oman Investment Fund. They start working in aquaculture since 2016, and the production started in 2017. The vision of Bluwater is to lead the development and sustainable competitive aquaculture sector in Oman. Bluwater is one of the biggest aquaculture farm here in the region, in the GCC country, let's say, and it's fully owned by the government. So, as you can see, Bluwater starts as a cage farming, located in Muscat, especially in Qurayat region. And why we select like a Qurayat region? Because of the, let's say, the water quality and the environmental status is very good to culturing the fish. Also, we have this water quality in this region is good for culturing fish due to the several reasons. One is we can have the very deep water, not far away from the shore. It's almost 1 to 2 kilometers, where you can find one of the best water circulation in Oman. Also, the area here is full with heavy current movement. So that means we can go and grow the fish without affecting the environment. Where everything goes under the water, it will be flushing by the currents. So the KPIs of the company when they start, they compare they want to culture the sea bream, gilded sea bream, according to the international standard, which is less than 15 months as a culture period to reach 450 grams, which is the commercial size, and the surviving rate is above 80%. So when the Bluwater started, they put this KPI as a key performance indicator. And when we start in 2017, we find that the culturing period was actually less than the international KPI, where we find 12 months, which is minus 3 months from comparing to the other regions, to reach 450 grams. Yes, we face some kind of difficulty to reach above 80%, but in this year, we managed to reach more than 80% in 2022 after we developed and after we improved the way that we are culturing the fish. So we will start first to talk about how's the culturing fish here in the Bluwater. We start first for the receiving fry. Currently, we are receiving the fry from outside of Oman, like France and Turkey, since we don't have the hatchery. Why we don't have a hatchery from the beginning? Just to make sure that culturing this species or culturing the fish is visible in Oman and we can success on it. So before we invest more money in the hatcheries and the buildings, we make sure first that it will work. So we start receiving the fry or the juvenile at 2.5 grams and dividing it into 5 small cages and growing it until it reach like 50 to 100 grams. Then we start grading. Feed and feeding. Currently, we are also importing the feed from outside. existing feed that we are using is from Skretting, which is considered as an international feed factory. And there is a different size of feed depending on the size of the fish. So we're still using this international feed factory, but there is a plan to invest here in Oman to start producing our own feed for our own fish. There is several experiments which give us how much we should feed to the fish, since the feed considered as the most expensive item or the most expensive asset that we are using in the farm. So there is a several experiment that make us to know how much exactly we should feed in different temperature profile. We are culturing gilded seabum, which is a European species. We have different environment compared to them. We are in very hot temperature area, and they are in very cold area. So there is a different the feeding rate and the feeding and the growth rate, which is in our position now. It helps us to grow the fish very faster than the cold temperature area. Then we have the diving activity. I can play here the video, which is one of an important part in the important activity in the farm, which they work to collect the mortality, inspecting the cage from having like holes or let's say have any kind of issues. You can see here the density of the fish in this cage. It's very dense, and you can see also the surface mortality, which is not a major issue. In this particular case, like almost 7% when we harvest this cage. Then the second activity, the second activity is transferring and grading the fish. Currently, we are grading the fish inside the farm or in the sea. Why? Because we are receiving the fry in 2.5 gram, let's say. And there's a size variation. And to make sure that the fish growing in a very safe way, we separate the big fish from the small fish to avoid the cannibalism or to avoid any kind of issue regarding competitive to taking the feed. Then the final process in the farm is like harvest. You can see this video as a shortcut. Harvesting is using by hook, like very old way to harvest the fish. Like I said, we are in a stage that evaluate our we can this to make the industry here. After the harvest, we improve our production cycle. For example, we start in 2018 to harvest 348 tons. Then we jump to 800 in the 2019. And in 2020, we managed to harvest 160 tons. And in 2021, last year, we harvest 1,350 tons. And currently, we are working to harvest about 3,000 tons. Till now, like we are in November, and we harvested already 2,600 tons. And still, we have 1 month to reach our target. Then the target for next year is to reach 3,800 tons, and with expanding our project to have almost double cage or double production and double cage in the farm. The market for that we are targeting now is all in GCC country, like such as Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, and we are targeting to open a market in Kuwait and outside of the GCC country. such as Jordan and Egypt. Okay. So now I will talk the key pillar of the transportation and of the transformation. In 2020, we make our baseline after we make sure that we can grow, or we can manage to grow the fish in the farm. Then we assist to develop the process and to get the international certificate, such as HACCP and BAP certification, and make procedures that make us parallel with the international practice. And then the company was working to centralize the support facility. Growing the fish, after you gain the experience, it will not be like a big deal. But after growing the fish, we will need the supporting facilities, such as processing plant. We will harvest 3,000 tons, and we need to have a processing plant to make sure that our product will reach the client in the best condition. Also, we are, like I said before, we are importing the feed, and we are importing all the equipment that we are using in the farm. Of course, this one will cost the company a lot, since we are importing it from international company. So to reduce the cost and to make the things easier for our fish farm and for the next fish farmer that they will come to invest here in Oman, the government decided that they want to centralize this product and centralize the supporting facilities in Qurayat region to make sure that everything is ready to help the companies when they start working here. The current and pipeline project that we have here in Qurayat, or let's say in Oman, first investing in Qurayat Sea. Since 2017, we start with 32 cages, and we are planning to go up to 5,000 tons, which means we will need to increase the, let's say, the cages that we have. Also, we work to extend the nursery from 8 raceway to 16 raceway in 2021 to produce almost 1,350 tons. Then Al-Bustan Wet Lab, which is the hatchery. Currently, it's a nursery. We work to improve it, to make it as a hatchery, to make sure that we will not import the fish from outside with a high cost. And instead of that, we will bring it as we will growing it here in Oman, which will reduce tremendously the cost of the fry. Then there is another hatchery we will build here in Qurayat to make sure that reducing the cost, and also working with another species that we can grow here in Oman. And also, one of the purpose of building this hatchery is to provide the other GCC country with the fry that they are needed for growing the fish. Also, there is another project which is yellow tuna ranching, which will help with a fast cash flow to invest more in the company. So where we are heading, first we will centralize the operation, building industry efficiency. Then after that, we're planning to reach the economy scale up to 10,000 ton capacity hub here in Oman, especially in Qurayat. Then we will need to have a vertical integration, complete support facility like hatchery, feed, packaging, net loft, maintenance. All of this need to be in one place to make sure that the investor or the people that they will work in this industry have all the support that they need to build their farm. Then accelerating the project in a short cash cycle, like tuna ranching, and cage utilization up to 90% of fleet utilization and 80% of fleet or equipment utilization. That means we will need to have proper maintenance, a proper workshop to make sure that everything goes very well. Then operational excellences. That means we need to hit the international target and to make sure that we are in the path that to make a good profit. For example, to have 1.8 FCR and with low cost of the product. Cost of goods should be like 1.5 and less, which is currently we have about 1.55. Then to do all of this, we need like a know-how. Like I said, aquaculture industry here is not very old in Oman. Currently, we are mostly 90% of the workers in this industry are Omani. We learn to have to success in this industry in a hard way. Like we keep trying one method after one method to know how we can success, to know how we can reach our target. But currently, we try to invite some international expertise to come to Oman and to show us how we can success in this industry, or to give us their experience in 30 years or 40 years and implement it here in our farms. So I hope I don't take very long time to explain my presentation. And thank you for inviting me to make this presentation. And I hope I give you all the information that you need from me. Thank you very much.